A scary moment last night on a flight from Everett to San Francisco as a passenger tried to shut down the engines mid-flight. Find out how crew members and police responded.
And with elections right around the corner, find out why Whitman County Auditor is pointing out a discrepancy in the voter pamphlet. Next.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Brendan Jin.
And I'm Austin Samuels. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Last night on an Alaska Airlines flight between Everett and San Francisco, an off-duty pilot riding in the extra seat in the cockpit tried to shut down the engines mid-flight. The man had to be subdued by the crew, and the pilots had to orchestrate an emergency landing in Portland. The man, now identified as Joseph Emerson, is being held in Portland on 83 counts of attempted murder and reckless endangerment, and 1 account of endangering an aircraft. Eastern Washington University police have arrested a suspect who's being accused of threatening to fight and shoot students while on campus gathering petition signatures. 26-year-old Justin Hale was booked into the Spokane County Jail on Thursday on counts of disorderly conduct and threats to bomb or injure property and trespassing. Eastern Washington University President Sherry McMahon responded to the incident in an email sent out to employees and students, stating this type of behavior towards our students and campus community is unacceptable. While outside visitors to our public space have the right to exercise freedom of speech, the university does not tolerate verbal or physical threats, whether explicit or implied.
Brian Koberger and his attorneys will appear in 2 separate hearings in the Latah County courtroom on Thursday. They're planning to discuss 2 different motions to dismiss the grand jury's indictment. Koberger's defense attorneys are arguing that the grand jury was misled because of the proof given to them, and the grand jury did not meet the standards of beyond a reasonable doubt. The 2 motions are scheduled to be heard at 9:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. The Whitman County voter pamphlet has an error. The pamphlet says that James Everman is running unopposed for the Pullman School District 3 position, but is actually being contested by Craig Nelson. Whitman County is aware of the issue and is working to fix it. The Winona train trestle that burned down in August has finished construction and is now open. Construction was working 7 days a week in order to finish the trestle, since it is critical to transporting agricultural products. The project took less than a month and was finished on October 12th. There will be a celebration event for the bridge on November 2nd.
Well, here's a look at campus from earlier this afternoon. Maggie's over at the weather wall to give you a look at what today's weather is like. Maggie?
Yes, out there you can see that the sun is trying to peek out just a little bit, but unfortunately that's not really going to stick around. As you can see, we only have a high of 57 and a low of 34 tonight. With those winds, that's going to make it feel a lot colder. We have 16 to 18 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 26 miles per hour. I'll let you know if that wind is going to stick around and if it's going to get colder later in the broadcast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Maggie. I'm not looking forward to that cold weather. Well, after the break, one local business is on the move and find out where they're headed.
And some colder weather potentially starting to move into the area. Find out if it's time for you to start breaking out those winter jackets next.
You look, the state of the world's getting worse. Oceans full of plastic, an endless amount of waste, an impossible task ahead of fixing our beloved planet. But change can't happen if you do nothing. So here's where you should start. Reduce. Why? Because Americans produce more than 200 million tons of waste every year, and you don't want to add to that. Reuse. Why? Because reusing and repurposing cuts back on unnecessary waste, and it gives things a chance at new life. Recycle. Why? Because recycling creates jobs. It helps our community and it helps our planet. And after doing all this, what will we be left with? We'll be left with a planet that will slowly start to heal. We'll be left with more money in our pockets. We'll be left with more opportunity for work. And most importantly, we're left with hope for the future. So reduce, reuse, recycle.
Tintan's Tacos has been a staple in Adams Mall, but they're making some changes and are on the move to a new location. Monique Ledesma has more.
Tintan's has two locations in Pullman, one located in the Colorado Mall and the other near downtown Pullman in the Lumberyard.
Tenemos dos.
We are going to close one of our locations to open a new location, but we are always going to have two locations for now. Although they're staying at the Colorado Mall location, the Lumberyard location was an experiment for them.
Este lugar siempre fue
This
más una
location was
prueba
used
de
as an
para
experiment
probar
to
diferentes
try
cosas y
different
diferentes
things
cosas en
and
el
try
menú
different things
para
from
ver
our
qué
menu.
cosas
The manager says the reason for the change is because
vale
we
más
got
pena
almost
para
everything we wanted out of this location, and it's worth more to move where more people live and be closer to the people who want to try our food. You might be used to eating at the Tin Tans location that's located right behind me in Timber, but come October 27th, they're moving where our Oasis used to be located at near Apartment Land. We want to reach a new clientele, more familiar younger people, and have a more restaurant-like style. Reporting from Pullman, I'm Monique Ledesma, Murrow, News 8.
Well, Brendan, that colder weather certainly feels like it's starting to move into the area.
Yeah, Austin, it definitely feels that way, but Maggie's over at the weather wall to take us through the week of weather ahead. Maggie?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it is looking kind of nice with that sun peeking through the clouds, but it is definitely cold today. As you can see, we have a high of 57 and a low of 34 tonight, but those winds, the 16 to 18 miles per hour with that 26 mile per hour gust, is making it definitely feel cold, and I would definitely put on a jacket if you haven't already. Looking at tomorrow, we might be seeing the first snow of the season. We have a high of 48 with some rain, but it's going to drop down to 32 all the way down tonight or tomorrow night, and we might be seeing some snow in there. Looking across the state, as you can see, we're pretty consistent throughout. Over on the west side, we have some of those temperatures in the 50s. The middle of the state's looking in the mid-60s, and over here we're in the low 60s, high 50s. As we look at across the week, we are definitely seeing some rain and snow mixed throughout the whole week. So grab your jacket, put on those gloves. It's going to be a cold one. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Maggie. I'm not looking forward to that cold weather. You know, I'm not a big fan of the snow coming from California.
Yeah, definitely not. And I'm a Montana boy too, and I feel like we've been spoiled for the most part for this fall, but it seems like finally the fall weather in Pullman is starting to catch up to us, unfortunately. Coming up after the break, WSU football fell to the top-ranked Oregon Ducks on the road. We'll have the full game highlights and more.
And we will debut a new segment of top performances in WSU athletics over the weekend. Coming up next.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Well, WSU football was back in action on Saturday against the 9th-ranked Oregon Ducks, trying to bounce back from 2 straight losses. Let's go to Autzen Stadium. Tied 3-3 after 1. Cam Ward drops back in the pocket, rolls out right, and finds Kyle Williams for 47 yards to get the Cougs started offensively. A couple plays later, Nakia Watson from 4 yards out dives into the end zone, 10-3 Cougs. But the Ducks would respond. In the second half, 17-13, Bo Nix finds Bucky Irving in the flat, and he takes it to the house from 42 yards out, second of 3 touchdowns for Bucky Irving. The Cougs would score one more time late in the fourth. It's Ward scrambling all around in the pocket trying to find somebody, and he does find somebody in the corner of the end zone, Isaiah Hamilton. Cougs lose 38 22, but some exciting plays mixed in. The Cougs have now lost 3 straight.
Well, Cougar volleyball is looking to bounce back after their loss to 5-set loss to USC on Friday. And on Sunday, they traveled across town to Pauley Pavilion to take on the UCLA Bruins. Cougs jumped out to an early 5-8 lead in the first set as Argentina Ung sets it up for an easy kill. Cougs came back late in the first set as Julia Norville had the ace to regain the lead. Cougs won a close first set, dropped the second set 28-6, but ran away with the third set pretty easily. Argentina Ung with the cross-court pass to Pia Timmer to seal it. Late in the fourth set, defense came up clutch. Katie Ryan and Magda Yahalasheva had the huge block to make the lead to 5. UCLA went on a short run, but Yahalasheva with the statement kill to end the game.
Now let's go to the soccer pitch where the Cougs took on the Utah Utes on Sunday. Sunday was senior day for WSU. 9 seniors honored on Sunday afternoon. Cougs trying to get a hot start here in the 15th minute. Senior Anaya Cutler with a nice move takes the shot, but a good save there from Casey Wardell with the stop. In the 52nd minute, the Utes would finally get on the board. Katie O'Kane makes it 1-0 Utah. Later in the second half, it's Kachow to McReynolds. No dice. Roles reversed. McReynolds to Kachow in the 82nd minute. Goal Washington State. They tie it up at 1 apiece. The Cougs work a 1-1 tie with Utah on the soccer pitch. Well, over the weekend, there were many great performances in WSU athletics, but we narrowed it down to 3. First of all, in football, we mentioned the Cougs and their loss to Oregon, but Lincoln Victor had himself a day. Here's one of his big catches in the first quarter.
And Pia Timmer had a great outing again. He is coming up with a nice kill in the third set to extend the lead.
WSU soccer got that tie, and Reagan Kachow with the game-tying goal on this sweet cross from McReynolds and the nice finish with her head to tie it up all at 1.
And after the break, it's a special day for fans of the classics. Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Scream. Find out why coming up next.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
Welcome back. It's spooky season as it's National Horror Movie Day. If you love getting scared, it's the perfect day for you. What is you guys' favorite horror movie, Brendan?
Oh, I absolutely hate horror movies. I don't like to be scared, but I guess the only ones that I've watched for was for one of my classes. I've watched The Exorcist. It might be a little old, but I can't do that. It was a little too much. Classic, but too much for me.
What about you, Maggie?
Yeah, I also get scared really easily, but I think the scariest one I ever saw was Pet Sematary, and that kept me up for weeks. So, I mean, I guess it would be that one only because it's the only one I've seen.
I'm a big fan of Annabelle. I actually watched it over the weekend. Pretty good, but pretty scary. Definitely be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah, definitely not for me. But thanks for watching. We had a great time today, and if you missed any of our past episodes, you can catch it up on YouTube. Have a good night.